watching. So in today's video, I want to talk about marriage and some destructive patterns that could lead to anger and disconnection with your spouse. Dr. John Gottman is a well-known research psychologist that has studied couples for many years. And in his research, he always asks two questions. One is, what makes for a satisfying marriage? And the second is, what predicts divorce? In doing this research, Dr. John Gottman came up with the 4 horsemen, and these are patterns of negative interactions that happen within couples and are usually part of the reason why couples divorce. The first horseman is criticism, and with criticism, you frame your complaints about the behavior in your partner as if there is something defective about your partner. So you're attacking the person, the character of your partner rather than the behavior. You're putting your partner down and you're pointing out a flaw within your partner's personality rather than the behavior that you don't approve of. So criticism is different from a complaint because, like I said before, a complaint focuses on the behavior that you don't approve of. Criticism, on the other hand, focuses on the person and really hurts their character. So an example would be that your husband always leaves his socks on the floor. A complaint would be, you left your socks on the floor, can you please pick them up and put them in the hamper? This is a complaint, you're only focusing on the behavior. A criticism would be, why haven't you learned? Are you that lazy that you can't even pick up your socks and put them in the hamper? So you see the difference where one, you're only focusing on the behavior, you're requesting and you are complaining, but you're asking your partner to put his socks away. And the second one, you're complaining, but at the same time you're criticizing, you're calling him lazy and you're hurting the person. A way to avoid criticism is to always focus on the behavior before you start criticizing or telling your partner what is wrong. Make sure you're always looking at the behavior. And I do want to say that if you do have a complaint, make sure you do voice it out and you do tell your partner about it, because you don't want to suppress. If something's bothering you, you need to be able to talk about it, but talk about it constructively and in a way that is not attacking your partner. So avoid insulting the person and saying negative things about the character of the person. The second horseman is contempt, and this takes your anger and your frustration and your criticism one step further. This is probably, out of all the four horsemen, one of the worst ones. You start developing negative thoughts about the person and you start thinking of your partner as like stupid, or you start having hatred towards them, and you develop this disgust for your partner, and which is really negative because once you get there, it's really hard to get back to a loving relationship. A person who has contempt for their partner may sometimes emotionally abuse their partner in order to get that anger out that they feel towards them. Signs of contempt may be sarcasm, name-calling, eye-rolling, sneering, and mockery, and sometimes hostile humor. What I mean by hostile humor is subtle digs or jabs at the person that are purposely there to hurt them. An anecdote for contempt which is really key is respect. So don't see an argument as a win or lose, but rather a way to resolve an issue and find a solution. When you do have heated arguments or heated discussions, try to always have your partner's best interests in mind and find things in your partner that you truly love and just focus on those. The third horseman is defensiveness. This is a reaction that you give with any complaint that your partner gives you. When you're defensive, you're trying to protect yourself from any blame or any responsibility when it comes to an issue within the relationship. Examples of defensiveness are denying responsibility, making excuses, yes buddying, and repeating yourself. So a way to avoid defensiveness is to receive your partner's words or complaints as information. Try to take your partner's complaint or the issue and take some responsibility in it, because at the end of the day, there is two people in a relationship, so the complaint always has to fall in either one of you guys. So taking responsibility doesn't mean that you're losing the battle, but it just means that now you're one step closer to finding a solution. The last horseman is stonewalling. This happens when a person turns away from the conversation they're having or their partner and basically gives them the silent treatment. The person that is stonewalling stops responding to their partner and stops engaging with them. When you stonewall, it invalidates your partner, and it basically is saying to your partner that you don't care about the issue or the conversation you were having. Always know that when you stonewall, you are living lonely, parallel lives within the same home. So none of you guys are happy. Both of you guys want to resolve the situation, but the fact that you guys are stubborn and you don't want to talk about it, it's gonna just lead to making the situation worse and drag on the problem. A way to avoid stonewalling is to always keep the lines of communication with your partner open. And if you do need to take a break, let your partner know that you need a break, but always come back to the issue if it has not been resolved. In needing a break, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not the same as stonewalling. There is still communication telling your partner, I need time to step away and really think and calm down, and once I'm calm, I'm gonna come back to this situation. So if you take breaks, it's fine, but make sure it doesn't turn into stonewalling, because that's not gonna help anyone and it's not gonna resolve the issue. So those were the 4 horsemen. These are real problems in our relationships, and it's always important to be conscious about them and know that if we are practicing one of these or doing any of these negative communication styles, to try to and avoid them, and try to find different ways to communicate with your partner that is positive and engaging and is focused on finding a solution and resolving the problem. Marriage takes a lot of work and sacrifice, but I truly believe that if you find ways to avoid any of these negative communication styles, that you can have a satisfying marriage. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below, or you can always email me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.